Hello, and hopefully you had a good Christmas and you're looking forward to New Year. But I want to do a very quick video talking about the currently running Savage Gladiators Kickstarter. So this is a book for Savage Worlds, primarily for the latest version, the Adventure Edition SWADE, but it could in theory be run quite quickly with various other iterations. So this book is already written. It's there. It just needs a few tweaks. It needs some art. It needs some illustrations. It needs some laying out. Hence the Kickstarter. So the link to the Kickstarter will be found in the video text below. And although the manuscript is written, I still have to do just a little bit more playtesting. Hence, I have ordered a few bits and pieces. So I have ordered one of these. This is from Sarissa Precision, and this is the arena, the auditorium that we're going to practice in. Now, at the moment, it looks like this, nothing at all, like you see on your screen. So it needs to be made, it needs to be constructed, but that's something that we will get on with and do over the next few days. Quite looking forward to that. Got some miniatures from Crusader. So some blister packs here. I've based some of them up already. So we have, probably doesn't look very good in the camera, Retiarius. There's a whole bunch of them here that are already based and are going to need painting. So there's a lot still to be done for the playtesting, but I'm getting on with that anyway. And when EM4 open after holidays, I'll be ordering some of these, including that rather nice lion. So what is in the book? Well, it's a setting book for Savage Worlds, and it can be run as part of Weird Wars Rome. So you could integrate it quite nicely with Weird Wars Rome if you wished. You could play it as a straight historical game. So it could be no magic, no weird creatures, nothing at all whatsoever, just gladiators and their opponents. It could be a purely fantasy version of Rome, where you've even got elves and dwarves wandering around. Or, probably more likely, is the more default setting, which is a historical Rome with some magical and some supernatural elements. And what we've done is we've adapted the rules to fit the setting, as any good Savage World setting should do. So we've got some specific rules for character creation. So characters in this start as ordinary people. Now, they might be an ex-legionary, they might be a slave, they might be a housewife, they might be a patrician, there might be anything. And most characters in this will go into the arena because they're condemned. They're condemned to death, and their manner of their execution will be in the arena. So they are sent out in a tunic or a loincloth with a club or a spear, maybe if they're lucky, and they'll be facing an experienced, armoured, skilled gladiator who's going to try and kill them. Now, characters being characters and being wildcards, they will probably survive. And when they do, they then get inducted as novice gladiators and they start to develop. So we've got some new hindrances, we've got some new edges as well. And so every playable gladiator speciality has its own edge and improved edge as well. So there are 20 new edges for specialities alone. We've got some new setting rules, including for arena fights, because an arena fight is not just two warriors facing each other and trying to kill each other as fast as possible. That's not entertaining. What entertains the Roman crowd, what entertained the Roman crowd, is entertainment. It is a show of skill. It is the ooh of seeing a spray of blood. It is the ah as the gladiator who's been hit and has ejected that spray of blood leaps back to his feet and lands a counterpunch. So there are rules to allow for that ebb and flow, for the support of the crowd, the roars, for the polis verso, the we think of it as thumbs up and thumbs down. It wasn't, so that's in there as well. So we've got the setting rules are in there. We've got some new weapons, we've got new armours, gladiator specific weapons and armours. We've got rules for a ludus, and the ludus is the school where you are taught to be a gladiator. And so we've got rules for that as a stronghold. So using the rules from many other settings, from the Fantasy Companion and so on, the Ludus is your setting, and you can improve it. If you keep winning battles, you keep improving the Ludus. It offers you more facilities, more support, more ways to get better. We've got a whole load of rules for a Gladiator campaign. So we've got a whole load of tables to generate random missions outside the arena, to generate random arena fights, random opponents, to generate a random owner, random events, and so on. So you could, in theory, run it almost as a procedural campaign where each session you have your one arena fight, your one outside mission, and they're all generated from the tables. But of course, there's also lots of information in there on integrating it into, say, a military campaign for Weird Wars Rome. We've got a complete sample session with all of the different parts of that procedural session. We've got a full plot point campaign. And that is a full 20, well, it's not fully 20 to describe sessions, but there's enough sessions in there to describe a full campaign arc. We've got quite a lot of pages on the setting. So what the gladiators are, how they fought, what they ate, how they slept, the fame, the fact that many gladiators were regarded as celebrities in Rome, and how that all ties in. Then we've got some very standardized beasts and enemies and characters and gladiators, and how to generate the other ones. So what we've got is a complete system where you could play it as a straight up gladiator game. And that obviously is the way the setting is written, where you start as condemned and you end up as legendary gladiators known throughout the Roman Empire, and you achieve some great goal. Or you could integrate it into a Weird Wars Rome campaign, where you could even have a legionary and a gladiator character, and the gladiator character is used for some missions and the legionary is for others. You could integrate it into a fantasy campaign, etc. Quite what you do with it is up to you. So it is a setting in and of itself, but it is also a good bolt-on book for other existing settings. So there's about another week or so to go in the Kickstarter. It's a strange time to run one, but another week or so to go with the Kickstarter, and as soon as that is complete, we will start the layout, so that by the time it funds, it's then just purchasing the art in putting that in and releasing the book. So hopefully that's inspired you to go to the Kickstarter and support it. It's a very simple Kickstarter. There's going to be no stretch goals, there's going to be no add-ons, nothing like that, and there are only 2 pledge levels. You either pledge for the PDF version, or you pledge for the print on demand version, where you get a code at the end of it, and that's it. So there's no postage to deal with. You can worry about that later. So there is just a week to go, so your support is very much appreciated. Hopefully you will enjoy the book, and I look forward to telling you about a lot more Arion Games products in 2024.